on air.
We are on air. I'm going to call to order it's not September anymore. What's the date today?
January 21st.
January 21st tree board meeting. Meeting to order. So we will do a roll call of everyone present. Michael Bender.
Here.
Laura Kittle.
Here.
Dallas Pearson.
Here.
Marge Sagstetter.
Here.
Mike Sarla. Here. Glenn Giacoletto.
Here.
And I am Nick Cantala. I am also present. Do we want to go, Tim, do you want to go around, do we want to go all the way around the room and get everybody on record here, or are we good with us?
I think we're good with just you, as far as I know.
In the past, we've gone around the horn. We'll just do this. Okay, next up on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did everyone have a chance to look through the minutes from last time?
Yes, and I have a correction.
We've got a correction.
I have to find it. Oh, it's on the open forum, old business, paragraph A. The second paragraph there, it says the requirements for a 5-gallon potted shrub. That should be a number 5. They don't use gallons anymore. It's just number 5.
Thank you, Mike. Any other amendments? Okay, then I would look for a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of approving the minutes as amended? Aye?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Nay. Aye.
March.
No, I wanted to point out the approval of the agenda.
Oh, we missed the approval of the agenda. Son of a gun, I went straight to the
Sorry.
minutes. Okay, well, the minutes are approved. And then I guess I would look for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? And we will use this agenda going forward. Next up is item 7, open forum. Yes. I don't have anything for the open forum. Tim, did you have something you wanted to bring up, or are we opening the floor?
This opens the floor. to
Opens the
everybody.
floor, all right. We've got an open floor. If anybody would like to
Comment on anything that's not on the agenda.
comment on anything that's not on the agenda, as Dallas said.
Okay, none, close the open forum.
Well, since no one is coming forward to comment, I would, do we need to move to close the open forum or just close it? We're going to close the open forum, move on to item 8, which is tree board review, starting with subsection A, old business. And item I, the 2025 work plan. So we worked through this a little bit informally. I guess, Tim, what would you like to see from us to formalize the 2025 work plan?
Yeah, well, after that, I realized I got to update all of this. I suppose I was looking through it I know basically all the updates, and then
Yeah, is there anything that you guys would like to add to it?
I would propose that since, or do you have the area already selected for the buckthorn removal in Walton Park for the year? Or is that still TBD?
I was planning on finishing up Walton Park here.
Oh, no, sorry, it was Walton Park this year, right? And then it was,
Yes.
then we'd be going back to the Discovery Center potentially next year?
My plan was to finish this upcoming October event, finish Walton Park.
Okay.
Rather than jumping around, finish the location that we started. We basically got halfway done. Myself and Lauren went in there and did some more clearing for 2 days after the event, Monday and Tuesday. And we chemically treated all the stumps and everything. So it'd be nice to finish up that unless there's a more pressing area or we do tackle the project of the forest garden.
Yeah, I think finishing what we started is probably a good idea.
Okay.
I would agree. Let's get it done so we don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
Dallas, you have a comment?
One suggestion I might make is, as we discussed, this is last year's information, but you do know the trees, so it might be nice to read into the record for the public to know what trees will be there, since it's not, our next meeting is close to the time.
Good call, Dallas, thank you.
Yes, I have that actually under my, under the Arbor Day, which is right below the work plan there. I was gonna bring that up, but, yeah, so the 4 trees selected are the Japanese tree lilac, the Kinder Crisp apple, the Eastern white pine, and the river birch,
Thank
which
you.
will be a combination of 3 clumps and single stem.
Wonderful, thank you. Well, yeah, I think we've got a pretty good handle on what the work plan will be. Like, we know the location of the planting, we know the location of the buckthorn removal. Then it's just a matter of what other stuff we want to do, working with other advisory bodies, if any.
Well, maybe I missed it, but where is the spring planting?
Bethke Park?
Oh, Beth, that's right. Thank you. And all those trees are, or you're going to use up the ones that we have at the,
Correct,
right
yeah.
here, it's
At Public Works.
Public Works, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
The
for the
gravel
reminder.
bed and just a bunch of B&Bs that we have planted out.
Perfect. 100 trees. We won't be doing all 100 trees that day, will we?
No,
You guys will take care of some.
we're gonna do some afterwards, but
Yeah.
I'd like to get in at somewhere between 20 and 30.
Perfect.
We'll have all the holes pre-dug and everything. And
Awesome.
Cool.
I left it's roughly probably 6 to 8 yards of mulch or chipped wood there for us. We can ring all the trees and everything, so.
Cool.
Will they be those all throughout that park? I mean, the locations, you've kind of figured that out yet?
It's mainly, if you go by there, you'll see
Oh,
it's mainly off Stillwater
Off
Road
the
or
road?
Boulevard right there. Yep, that'd be the south entrance right there.
okay.
That's where it kind of opened it up. And I would say roughly, that 10 to 15, we can put right in that front location there and then disperse the rest of them evenly out. The east and kind of south or west, and southwest end of that park has a few bigger cottonwoods and whatnot. So just by taking out some small, 6 to 8 inch in diameter dead ash trees, it's not the ideal spot to then replant. So, but yeah, there's still some more room down there as well.
Great. And we'll be reaching out to the North High and Tartan here to try and get some students.
Yeah, hopefully more than the
Yeah, last
buckthorn
couple times.
removal.
Yeah. Okay,
Although, they did help out for the hour that they showed up.
Well, the ones that we had last spring there was quite a few.
yeah,
At the spring planting,
Yes.
for sure, there was a ton.
we had a good, yeah, a good amount,
Most of you even had appropriate footwear, which was good.
right? And of course, we welcome the public to come and join us, right?
The more the merrier.
Hint, hint. Anyone out there that wants to come help?
Super fun. You don't even get that dirty.
Yeah, and people have brought their, I don't know, over 10-year-olds or over 12-year-olds? Is there a rule about how old the kids have to be? Anybody know?
And I've been bringing Simon since he was like 3.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Hopefully not. Hope there's not a rule.
Right, I don't know,
I don't think, as long as they're supervised by an adult, I don't think
okay, there's no limit?
a guardian, yeah.
Okay, good, excellent. Fun to have some kids there. I think they really learn a lot.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions or comments on the work plan before we move on to an update on the tree giveaway, which we already did?
I would have one question at the bottom, number 2. I think that it came up in the fall is, what should we as a tree board do to increase public communication related to tree board events? Is there a responsibility that we have, or is this a city staff responsibility? I'm not quite sure on this communication piece. Is this like creating brochures, or I'm not quite sure what that means. It's pretty broad.
Yeah, I guess maybe even coordinating with myself and I can relay that to
Okay,
this correct city staff to, for different stuff they can post on their website and whatnot.
You guys want our assistance in content creation, like videos or anything like that? We can help with.
I was thinking that too. So we didn't get any videos, or I wasn't aware of anyone taking pictures at the buckthorn removal event. That's the only event I've been a part of. I do think that'd be a good idea, and that would help us. Not only pictures, but like Nick said, some good live videos would be.
I think that's been typical. I mean, not necessarily at the Buckthorn, but I know I was interviewed twice at the spring planting the last 2 years. Man came around, same guy, I think, and asked me some questions. And I know I was on a video somewhere for those 2 events, but maybe do you have to request that from City Hall or somebody?
I'm not sure.
To get that person to come out, and I think they even had a drone. It was kind of cool.
Remember the drone?
Yeah. And so those would be great, and then to put them on our Facebook page or whatever, I don't know how often they update the website, but that kind of thing. Social media is, place.
Handful of experts up here who'd be happy to answer questions that people from the city might have about trees, tree care, tree maintenance, tree planting.
Well, and I'm thinking about that TV show, the cable TV, that's not going on anymore, right? That one you got interviewed for
Oh, yeah, I did do that.
a couple of years ago?
That's fun.
Was it Frank who?
Yeah, it was
interviewed?
Frank.
I don't think he does that anymore.
Okay, that's not available. Well, then, all the more reason to get some, PR at our events specifically. I think it would be good. We can get that videographer there, or whatever his title is. Thanks. Yeah, that'd be good. Next time, I'll make sure they interview you.
No, pass. That seems like a vice chair job. Feels like a
I
vice
had
chair
my
job.
2 turns in highlights. Okay, all right, what else?
Yeah, I think we got a good handle on what we're going to be working on in 2024 or 2025. What year it is now. Yeah, then so I know we jumped the gun a little bit, Tim, on the tree giveaway update. Is there anything else you wanted to add about that?
Yes, it will be held at the North Fire Station, a drive-through event, and then it sounded like we could put like the master gardener booth and whatnot outside in the parking lot. Once they get their trees and go through the station there, then we can put signs up and people can pull off to the side of the parking lot there. And then they'll be going directly towards Castle Elementary
On the
as
way
they
out?
leave. Yep.
Okay. Oh, and will we have city staff directing traffic, or will there be like
Yeah,
Oakdale PD out there like managing it, or like what's the plan there?
I know for sure city staff, we will, yeah, we'll keep it moving and,
Put Jeremy in a shiny vest and have him stand out in the street. Get him some air traffic control wands.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
I'd like to talk a little bit more about what I talked about the last time.
Yeah,
All the people that don't show up, because there was a huge wait list, and only one person from that wait list showed up and got a tree, but, I mean, there was a lot of trees left over for being accounted for so fast.
Right.
And I kind of like what Dallas said, if we don't do it, or if they don't pick their trees up within 2 years, then they get put on the wait list. Because I think a lot of people, because it's free, they just put their name down because it's something that's free. So I think we should watch over it a little bit more and not just, even though I know those trees get put to good use and they're not wasted, but, as we heard, there was a big demand for trees. Let's make people take them.
So is there like a follow-up to people that sign up right before the event? So don't forget, the tree giveaway, is there?
I don't know if there's a reminder sent, an email? Anybody know? I know you weren't here, but, that's a great idea, I think, is,
Yeah,
especially if you're signing up a month ahead of time, which I think we are, 3 weeks anyway.
right.
To remind people, just a quick email.
Since I believe the sign-up was only your name and possibly phone number, it would have to either be text or
Oh, no email.
they'd have to get the email
Yeah,
address.
text. But a lot of services are sending reminders.
Well, and especially since we're moving the location here. too.
Right, right. People come here.
That brings up a good point. You'll probably would have put up a sign down by the park saying, location moved this year, because people will be remembering it being there.
Right.
excuse me. Are we gonna do the same like time slot sign up where people can sign up for a tree and a time slot?
Correct.
Okay.
Because that fluctuates depending on weather. If it's bad weather, they all come at once, it seems like.
Was that, Tim, something you can ask the staff to do, send a reminder?
Yes, I'm not, did you say that, Dallas, that they just leave a number and,
I believe, my memory serves, it was merely their name and a phone number for the sign-up. So in order to alert them, we'd either have to sign up for some kind of a text service or ask for their email as well. And I just don't remember if there was an email. I don't think it was.
okay. I
requested.
will look into, if there wasn't an email, maybe we can add that.
Feels like
Send out an
easy
email.
field to add.
Yeah.
Reminder. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Anybody have any other thoughts, opinions, contributions on the tree giveaway before we move to new business? Well, hearing none, I would say let's move on to new business, which would be the election of the board chair and vice chair.
Are you open for nominations?
I will open the floor for nominations.
I nominate Dick Cantola for chair and Marge Segsetter for vice chair.
I'll second that.
So seconds are not required, but we do appreciate the support. It says on the thing.
Good reading.
I'm pretty good at reading.
Yeah.
Any other nominations?
Feel free to offer.
I like the talent we've got, so I'm happy.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
Well, there appear to be no new nominations. which means I need someone to make a motion to close nominations.
I make a motion that we close nominations for chair and vice chair.
This one does require a second.
I
Second.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Well, do we still need to pass out the ballots, Tim?
There's-
I don't believe so.
You could do a vote of acclamation.
Yeah.
I move that we, by vote of acclamation, install Nick Cantola and Marge Segsetter as per the nominations.
Second on that one.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Well, thank you guys for continuing to trust us. We will do
Yes.
the best that we can.
Okay.
All right, on to section 9, staff liaison updates. Tim, what you got for us?
Well,
What could we possibly not have talked about yet?
this fall here after kind of I guess before and after the buckthorn event, we've been doing a lot of stump grinding and restoration on those stumps. Then we kind of started getting into the later on in fall after the event, probably towards the end of October, early November, and I requested for plow routes, clearance pruning for all the plow route drivers. And I got a good sized list, so we've been going around doing a lot of that. Even still, we get them every time they go out and do a little bit of snow removal or salting. One or two of them will hand me a list of different addresses. So that, I had mentioned before that Lauren and I were in there and we cleaned up some more after the buckthorn event, and then chemically treated all those stumps. And there is still quite a bit all to from where we stopped there, Marge and Mike, if you can remember, it's a lot of fruiting buckthorn all to the northwest kind of as it goes around the ball field there. So I think it'd look really nice next year if we could finish that little stretch up.
Just a question of, since it seems like the ash borer has struck, how many are you in the process of removing? Do you have to remove them on residential or just on Oakdale land? And is there a program in process?
Yes, we are tackling right now kind of the higher priority trees on our GIS system, but no, we are not removing or doing anything with the privately owned trees.
Okay.
Is there still a discount for citizens with Rainbow? We had a program, is that still going
Yes.
into
treating.
2025? To treat them?
For treating
Yes.
specifically, yes.
Okay. Not any removal discounts? Okay. Thanks.
We are also finishing up any summer work orders that we had that required some frozen ground, frost in the ground, to make access to a lot of the backyards where we have property on ponds and whatnot. Trees that have fallen, we've cleaned up those trees. We had a few during storms fall directly into backyards. We cleaned them up, kind of left the piles there, and then we've been going in now with frozen ground, so we do the least amount of damage to the yard. We go in and clean those up. So we've been kind of finishing those up. We're basically finished with those. We have one in a pond that we're kind of trying to figure out what route we're going to take. Then, as I spoke about earlier, the Bethkey Park reforestation project, we were taking down a lot of those ash trees in there, getting ready for the spring planting this year. We refurbished all the walking paths through there with the chips that we got from the ash trees in there. They look really nice, really thick. We put it on there thick because it'll settle a little bit and move around in the wind and storms. So we have a little bit to finish up on that on the west end. And then that should be done, I would guess, in the next few weeks, now that we have some weather where we can work outside again. I mentioned earlier also the species that we have at the Public Works building. We have some swamp and bur oaks in our gravel bed that we're gonna use in Bethke Park, along with those B&Bs on the north side of our shop there, which are Kentucky Coffee, Ohio Buckeyes, Ironwoods, and a couple Autumn Blaze. And then recently, we've been going through, just kind of had a list going from when I started in the middle of July of all the oak pruning that needed to be done, and as they came in, along with the plow clearance on the plow routes. And so now we've been going after, now that the oak wilt window is closed here for quite some time now, we've been doing a lot of oak pruning. We get quite a few from townhome associations that butt up to our property that we hold off on, and so those are kind of tedious, just access. You get the longer units, and you have to, prune a tree that's in the middle of that. You can't get equipment, so it's all by hand, and so they're a little tedious, but we are working on a lot of that. And in the next couple weeks also, along with that oak pruning, we're going to be doing a lot up around the Discovery Center building and the other three, the schoolhouse building and kind of the storage shed down towards Hadley there, clearing all the limbs that are rubbing on those buildings.
How long do you anticipate that taking?
A day.
Yeah.
A good solid day. And that is, along with some other, obviously still taking work orders. They come in, I get calls almost every day, different things we go out and check out. That's it for updates, I think.
Awesome. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
Board members, any updates from you guys?
Yeah, as I talked about a little bit earlier, I was watching the webinar in December, and they were talking about mitigating storm water runoff and talking about the types of trees, that work better for doing that, whether they're have got pubescent leaves as opposed to shiny leaves, the type of limbs, the type of bark, if the tree is more upward growing and stuff like that. And as I was watching this, I kept thinking about a few decades ago, there got to be a big push with people planting rain gardens for doing the same thing. And this would be a nice thing to piggyback on that, to capture some of that rainwater so it doesn't go down in the storm sewers. So,
You have any species recommendations for us?
well, lindens. I keep thinking about like white spruce, but you'd have to be real careful where you plant them, because if you're trying to do runoff and the plows come by with salt, and you might do some damage to the spruce. But some of the oaks, because of their bark, would be good ones like that. But it's just, it was strange because I knew all this stuff, but I never thought about it for holding water or rainwater for storm sewer runoff. Because I don't know if any of you been in a spruce forest when it's been raining, but you don't get wet. Because all the waters or the rainwater is being held in those trees. So I thought it's something that we could maybe look into a little bit more.
Yeah.
And maybe promote it. Especially, I wouldn't do it on a flat ground because that's going to settle in. But if there's slopes, and when we were talking about earlier about, redoing Highway 120, I know there's quite a few slopes that slope down into 120, and that might be something to look at there too.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for being willing to take on sitting through those webinars.
What's that?
Thanks for being willing to take on sitting through those webinars and reporting back. We appreciate it.
Some of them are worthwhile sitting through. Some are about the 50 different kinds of wasps.
That sounds really cool too, though.
It gets old fast.
I do have a question, if we're done with that topic. So, yes, are we done? Okay. Tree truck. And I know we talked about last fall, we finished 1/3 of the tree truck out there at the Discovery Center, Nature Reserve. Do you think you're going to get to any more of that, or have you
I'm
already?
done.
Huh, there we go.
It just has to be sent in to Laura.
And make the maps, right? You're
Yep.
going to do the maps. Awesome. I think this guy needs a round of applause. He's done a lot of work, really, seriously. So those maps are a huge improvement, and it's a full page, 8.5 by 11, instead of a trifold, trying to read that little bitty print. And people will come in, or I hope they put some out front, for people to come through and then learn. And we've had really good comments. We did a couple of these treks with the public last year, and it's very, very well received. People are very interested to learn about the trees out there, and recognize them any time of the year. So thank you for doing that. Really appreciate it, Mike. You went above and beyond. So thank you.
It was easy.
Okay, well, easy for you. So thank you. Gold star.
Laura, Mike, anything for you guys down there?
Anything that end?
Glenn? Dallas? Okay. Yeah, then moving on to council liaison updates with our new council liaison.
Hello, Commissioners. I am really excited to learn from you guys. For record, my name is Carrie Moore. I am one of the new council members. And since the board last met, I believe council has passed a budget. We are in the middle of a whole lot of new development, some of which I think you can see driving through our community, and some of which is still kind of in the pipeline. We've brought on new city council members, so a lot of exciting things going on. I don't have anything specific to share with you, but I'm willing to stand for any questions. Wonderful.
Easy.
Have a good night, you guys.
Thank
We're
you.
stoked to have you.
Welcome.
That is the entirety of our agenda.
I move to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? While hearing none, I will adjourn the January 21st, 2025 tree board meeting. Gavel.
All right. Thank you. Chair, Mr. Chair, person. Excellent.